Hi guys, and thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be chatting about the Meindl Bhutan and my experiences with it over the last 2 months. Before we do that, we're going to have a quick chat about Meindl as a brand and look at some of the history and what makes them so special. Meindl are well known for making fantastic footwear, with a variety of different styles to choose from lightweight footwear to heavy mountain boots and everything in between. Meindl have been producing footwear for over 300 years and are a family-run business in its 11th generation. They've also had partnerships with some major brands like Gore-Tex for over 40 years. What makes Meindl so special is their attention to detail and their combination of traditional skills and innovative design. Each one of their high-quality walking boots has over 200 steps from start to finish, and you can see the quality from each of their pieces of footwear in front of me. Now that we've had a really quick chance to talk about the brand, it's time to move on to the boot. In front of me here is the Meindl Bhutan, one of Meindl's best-selling boots, and has been around for about 10 years. The Bhutan is a natural progression from the Burma, which many of you may know, and holds many of the characteristics that that boot was known for. The Bhutan is developed to be reliable, stiff, durable, and perfect for all year round walking. It packs much of the technology that Meindl is well known for. For example, it's got a nubuck leather upper which is waxed inside the factory, backed up by a Gore-Tex sock on the inside for waterproofing. It also takes advantage of Meindl's MFS, which is a memory foam system which sits in the rear of the boot, which moulds due to the heat of your body to fit your ankle perfectly. This means there's less chance of pinching or any slip. We've also got a Vibram sole at the bottom of here, which uses a multi-directional tread, and it has a quick clean function, which means that dirt and wet mud does not stick to the base of it, which is perfect if you're coming home from a long walk and you don't like having to take ages to clean your boots and pick all that loose mud out of the tread. What's apparent with the Bhutan is quality. You can see that this is one of Meindl's top quality boots. The leather is beautifully finished, all the stitching is fantastic, and they've included this lovely rubber band that runs around the top of the boot. This is perfect for protecting your boot against any scuffs and scrapes. Around where we are here, down in Devon, we've got Dartmoor, well known for its granite tors. What's great about this here is it offers a bit of protection for the toe. Around Dartmoor, it's really easy to kick and scuff the front of your boots. We've also got one of Meindl's new lacing systems. As you can see, it comes back here a little bit further, which allows for the lace to draw in the boot a little bit tighter around your heel. Again, another factor that's helping reduce any slip or movement on the heel. It kind of goes hand in hand with that MFS system. The Bhutan would be perfect for anyone that's looking for a low-level walking boot all the way up to a mountain boot. And this boot can be used all year round, as I mentioned. However, we wouldn't recommend using it in sort of really hard winter conditions. This boot is not crampon compatible. As I mentioned before, the boot is made of a brushed nubuck leather, which has already been factory waxed. This gives it a lovely shine, it's easy to clean, easy to maintain, and also has a really high water repellency straight out of the factory. Obviously, all of this is also backed up by that Gore-Tex sock we discussed a second ago. It's a fantastic thing, and as we've already mentioned, Gore-Tex and Meindl have got a really good relationship. I've been able to use this boot a number of times, and I'll discuss later on in the video. I've had a really good experience from this waterproofing system. I've been lucky enough to try out the Bhutan over the last few months, and I've been really impressed with its durability and its comfort straight out of the box. It's been a fantastic companion on many of my adventures, and today we're just going to have a little chat about what I think of the boot and also my favourite features. As an avid wildlife photographer, I cover a lot of ground every day over different kinds of terrain, and over the last few months I've been lucky enough to use the Bhutan for that. The biggest thing I've noticed about the Bhutan is the level of comfort it provides, and a lot of this is down to its MFS, which we spoke about earlier, the memory foam system. This is an area in the back of the boot which is coated in a special foam which moulds to your foot as your body temperature rises. This means it moulds perfectly to your foot and avoids any pinching at the back of the heel. It's been absolutely brilliant over the last few months. I must have covered a couple hundred miles with it, and I've never ever had any issues with the fit or the comfort factor. It's a little bit broader across the forefoot here, as we mentioned in some of our previous videos, but because of that memory foam system, it really does help lock the heel in on the back of the foot. I've been more than happy to wear this on a number of different occasions, from wildlife photography and also a lot of mountain walking. I've recently returned from a trip in the Brecons where this was my main boot, and it was absolutely fantastic. Along with the comfort factor of this boot, another feature that I've found really impressive is its waterproofing. The nubuck leather upper, which is waxed in the factory, is backed by a Gore-Tex sock, means this boot is fantastic for any wet conditions. I've used it in a number of situations, one of which would be climb up a mountain in wet conditions where the grass is very wet. This is a prolonged situation where water could potentially start to seep into the boot over time, and I've had absolutely no issues. The second was in my recent trip to the Brecon beacons, where I was out photographing red kites and other animals like otters and herons. And while on a beach just off of one of the river beds on the Usk, I wanted to photograph and get a little bit closer to a heron. I decided to walk out into the river up to just here on the boot, so not overly high but certainly below the sort of top part of the waterproofing. As you know, the tongue here does come away a little bit, so the waterproofing is not all the way up to the top of the boot, and it was absolutely fine. I was stood in the river for about 35 minutes with water rushing over the top of the boot and had perfectly dry feet, and I was confident in the fact that when I got out of the water I wouldn't have wet feet for the rest of the day. This was awesome. It meant I was able to get the photo I was really desperate for and also maintain good dry feet for the rest of the day and for the rest of the walking ahead. The final feature I'd like to talk about when it comes to the Bhutan, and one I've had a really good experience with, is the sole unit. On this boot there is a Vibram sole unit which has got a multi-directional tread. This means that the tread pattern moves in different directions, which means you have got tread in every direction. This is great for anyone doing mountain or lowland walking where you need grip in different directions. For example, if you're edging down the side of a bank, a steep bank, you've got grip pattern going that way. If you're going up a hill where you need grip coming down to stop you sliding backwards, you've got grip that direction. And if you're coming down a hill head on, you've got grip going that way as well. It's a really good sole unit. I've found it's been extremely grippy and nice and durable as well. It shows very little sign of wear on the base of it after quite extensive use, which is really good to see. Number of different situations. We've done loose and dry, loose dry rock where we've been up on some of the hills in the Brecons, and also those slippery wet riverbeds that we've been walking along as well for our photography. And this sole has performed brilliantly. I've been really impressed by it. The grip has been outstanding, and I've never once felt that I wasn't secure or felt the need to sort of take it back a step and re-look at my footing. It's been really good. I've been genuinely impressed by it.
Now that we're back from our latest adventure, it's time to clean and maintain the Bhutan. Thanks to its non-stick Vibram sole and leather uppers, the Bhutan is simple and quick to clean. Here are the exact tools we'll be using to clean the boots. We have a cleaning brush, polishing brush, footwear cleaner, and Meindl's very own sports wax. It's a natural beeswax based product that conditions and improves the leather. Now that we've got all the things we need, it's time to get cleaning. First, grab your scrubbing brush. Use this to remove any loose, dry dirt from the outer of the boot. Now it's time to move on to the footwear cleaner. This will help remove any dirt that was too stubborn to remove with the hard, brittle brush. Once you've got a good coverage, rinse off any excess chemicals with the tab. Once thoroughly rinsed, it's time to use your wax. Use this sparingly and use a rag to rub it in. Make sure you get the entirety of the boot. Once this is done, it's time to grab your polishing brush. Use this to remove any excess wax and also give the boot a nice shine. And that's it, you're all done.
So, what are my final thoughts on the Bhutan? Well, to be honest, I've been really impressed with it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I have, but I really do think this is a brilliant boot. I found myself putting it on even when I didn't necessarily need to. Like I mentioned in the Brecons, we were doing some things that weren't necessarily in need of a boot. You could have used a walking shoe, for example, but I still found myself drawn to the Bhutan. And a lot of that was simply down to its comfort. They've done a really good job with this MFS system in the rear of the boot. It really is comfortable. It does lock your heel in nicely, and it doesn't feel like the boot's pinching you. It's not something I've experienced from any other boots that I've had. I've really enjoyed it. The whole experience of using the Bhutan has been brilliant, and this is certainly not something I'm going to be moving away from. It will become my boot of choice. I'm hoping to use it in Scotland in May when we're going up to do some of the Munros. I'm just really excited to see where this boot goes and how long it lasts. It's been a really good companion on some of my adventures, and I'm really hoping it will continue to last a lot longer. The Bhutan is available in store and online, and if you'd like to pop into one of our stores, one of our team would be more than happy to help you fit the boot. Thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you soon.